The end of all things is at hand. Therefore be self-controlled and sober-minded for the sake of your prayers. Above all, keep loving one another earnestly, since love covers a multitude of sins. Show hospitality to one another without grumbling. 1 Peter 4, 7-10. Here's the place setting. Hey guys, I just wanted to come on here and chat for a second before I get into what's going on this week. I didn't really say anything last week just because I was kind of still in shock about stuff. I also don't want to preach on this platform. I write on Substack, things like that. So I like having that platform for that, which feel free to check out. I think there's a link on my profile. But I felt it necessary just to say a few things before we get started, and mainly starting with that verse that I just read. Peter is writing to the church, and he literally says, like, talking about the chaos of the world, right? And he says the end is at hand. And what he then encourages them to do is normal things. Love one another, be self-controlled, show hospitality. And I think there's a lot of people talking right now about like all the things that you should do and how you should react. And I think a lot of that stuff that at least I've been seeing has been really good. Response just to our political world and, shocker, Christianity being attacked. But I also think first of that passage where in the chaos of persecution and end times, we're called to love one another. We're called to show hospitality. So that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm trying to do. Okay, so this week has a few things going on. And so the first being September 22nd, which is this Monday, is Bilbo Baggins' birthday. And I am sure that you have also seen this, as I've seen a ton of this on my feed, but like on Pinterest and Instagram and things like that, but little like Hobbit parties. And Alec and I have talked a lot about like trying to have like feast days, and obviously like church holidays is something that we are planning, and I'll talk more about like October next month. But I really like the idea that we have a feast day for like Lord of the Rings, and so I'm starting this year. This year it's going to be very chill. We obviously just moved, so we don't really know anyone in the area. So it's going to be very small. Just, I think Alec, myself, and Jordan are my brother-in-law, and then maybe one other person, but we'll see. But I just kind of want to get the tradition rolling and practice some recipes and things like that. And I think like in the future, I would love for it to be like a bigger event. But for now, we're just gonna do a little get together. So start off slow. Yeah, so I need to plan the meals for that. So September 22nd is a Monday this year, so I think we're gonna do it the Sunday before, so the 21st. And then on Saturday, we're going hunting all day. I think we're sleeping in our car Friday night because it's a bit of a drive, and I don't want to wake up super early, so we're gonna drive, Friday evening, and then we'll wake up on Saturday and go hunting all day. So those are kind of the big things this week, and then prepping for those, and then obviously also thrifting for our house. So I think I'm gonna go thrifting today and then maybe later this week as well. And we're also trying to get like a couch, a washer and dryer, and maybe some other things. And I talked about this last week, but we're looking on Facebook Marketplace mainly. We are considering getting a couch from like IKEA or something like that, or Walmart. It just depends. So like we've seen a lot of nice things that, like, I don't know, we were looking before we moved at Facebook Marketplace and we saw a lot of nice things, but we just didn't have the space for it yet. And so we didn't get them. And now we're not seeing anything we like. And so we're just kind of like, okay, we just need to be patient and wait it out. And I think I've already mentioned this too, but I don't have Wi-Fi, or we don't have Wi-Fi yet, and I don't have service. I'm gonna go to the library so that I can research for the food for the Lord of the Rings thing. And then I'm gonna go grocery shopping for that. So. Good morning, actually good afternoon. I am at my in-laws. I had to run some errands and now I'm gonna get some eggs. Hi guys, today is Sunday and we just picked up a couch and 2 sets of like dressers, or like for clothes, you know, a bureau, and I'm so happy with especially the bureau. They're in my Subaru. See them very well, but there's 2 and one has a mirror on it and the other one, they're matching antique, but one doesn't. It was funny, the 2 different experiences of getting the couch versus getting these. Like these were like an upper middle class, like older couple, like they had kids, probably like one of their kids was already like moved out kind of thing, like older, quote unquote, and like chatting us up, invited us in their house, offered us water, and like showed us other antiques that they had. We're like yapping about antiques. And then this couple that we just got the couch from like did not speak English. So like little, I mean, but also the man helped us, the immigrant family, like husband helped us carry stuff, and the upper middle class guy didn't. So different cultures, I guess. That's feminism. Yeah, and so now I'm headed home to prep for our Lord of the Rings night, and it's gonna be a little crazy. And I actually do want to update, we did just go to a new church and I loved it so much. So, but it stinks because we liked the church we went to a church for 2 weeks and then we went to another church. And it's just nice when the decision is easy, you know, it's like, oh, this church is great, that church isn't, you know, but we really like both churches. So we're gonna have to actually like deep dive into like theology and maybe meet with the pastors or something, I don't know. But it's kind of a shame because they're both seem like great churches. But I mean, it's a good problem to have. Okay, so I'm back at our place and these are the little menus that you saw me making earlier. So I'll read it because I don't think it'll show up on the camera. But so for the appetizers, we have cold meats, lembas bread, but It's actually not gonna be ready until like maybe as a dessert. That was my fault. Mushroom soup. And then a main course of apple glazed pork, the sides of potatoes, and fresh bread and butter. And then for dessert, I have brownies, and then beverages are wine, cider, and beer. Here's the place setting. I got out our college plates for this, and then here's our little charcuterie board, and then the table setting. And then I got this beer because it kind of gave Lord of the Rings vibes, right? Mountain lager, that's cool. And then cider.